going to record. I'll start recording now, otherwise I'll forget. And then,
Renee, you going somewhere for a ball? You're dressed to the nines. You're not at office, are you? Can I hear you?
yeah.
Right now I'm at home and then I'm going for a meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, because I'm wearing a floral dress, is it? Usually I'm so boring. I just use the corporate one color. Today is floral.
Yeah, you have to be careful when you see these things. You get into trouble. Yeah, so yeah.
I'm wearing the Omega shirt, you know. How many of you still got the Omega shirt? Or throw already? Hi, Andrew. The Omega shirt is still very new. That was last year, wasn't it? 1 year anniversary.
I'm wearing also. I'm wearing also.
You? Wow,
Yeah.
you not like you platinum. It's okay, it's okay. We accept you. So, Fraser, a question for you.
Yeah.
This is just a precursor. Can we maintain more than one LinkedIn account for different businesses?
I don't recommend it. Yeah, it's not the policy of LinkedIn. Yeah, so I tend to try and stick in line with LinkedIn, the sort of way that the policy works. I mean, it's a really good question. And I'm just logging. It's so I'm just logging in here on my other computer as well. Then, so. And I will give you total focus. If LinkedIn see you doing it, they'll delete one of the accounts.
Ah.
Not both. So it just takes one person to send a report to LinkedIn and then you lose your account. And so the challenge with LinkedIn, there's a lot of people scam LinkedIn, right? You know, they do different things. I mean, there's a lot of ways to game the system. Everybody's trying to do that, you know? So they're trying to just there we go. That's my spare. Perfect. So people are always trying to game it. So you get bots, you get people have two accounts. People put their business account as a profile. Because if you're aware you've got two accounts, you've got your own account and then you can have your business account. But LinkedIn's designed as a personal account, right? So people don't engage with business accounts really that much. You can't have a conversation with it and things like that, yeah, so easily. Yeah? So people think, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to game the system. Yeah? I'm going to create a personal account, but it's as a business, yeah. But it doesn't work, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you build up 7,000 connections, right? And then LinkedIn takes it away and you've lost all that work, right? I mean, the risk is just massive. I've got 8,000 connections. The whole sort of environment that rotates around my LinkedIn, to go back and start again would be a travesty, yeah? So they're quite strict. I mean, there's a layers of LinkedIn that you don't hear about on the strictness here, right? So for example, even we'll create a group, but if you create a group specifically to like each other's posts, okay, they'll come down on that, yeah? And they don't like it, yeah? Because you're gaming the system here, right? So they're conscious of it and they pay attention to that. And it just takes, pardon?
You're being too advanced, because I only know that Facebook you can create group posts. I don't know about LinkedIn. Zero. So you're just being too quick for me. Maybe when you relate it one by one, then we'll realize.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, people are gaming the system here, right? You know, and they do stuff like. So the key is just to follow the model. There's a process of following LinkedIn, which is what we're here for in these next 3 sessions, to understand what you can actually do. So that and to be honest, if you do what LinkedIn lets you do, you'll use your time really wisely and you'll get the best from it, right? You know, you don't need to do more, right? I mean like it's the analogy I use, if you use LinkedIn the right way, it's like a golden goose. It's right there. Don't have to do anything, don't have to gamify it. You just follow the model and it works perfectly because it's designed to work, right? So anyway, here we are at 9:03. I'm really sorry about the last minute email. Normally I'm like really organized. This is Monica, by the way. Yeah? So Monica is our ops director. She might be here for the next 3 sessions, but she might not because she's just about to have a baby in 3 weeks. Yeah? So if she switches her video off, yeah, she's tired and going for a walk because she can't sit for more than 10 minutes, I don't think.
Yeah. Got baby pressure going down.
Pardon?
I said I've got baby pressure happening all the time. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. So apologies for the late. Now, are we missing anybody, Grace? Is everybody here?
Do you want to make me co-host really quickly?
11 of us, yeah.
Co-host. Perfect. Okay, Grace, we're not. Is anybody else coming in, or?
We've got 9.
I don't think so. We've got 11 of us, right? Do you have the 2 new additional ones from Milana? Milana, are you? No?
Recording. They want to see the recording first.
Oh, that's
Then they're
absolutely
gonna-
fine. Yeah, I think let's plow ahead. It's 9:03.
Yeah,
Let's have it.
keep going.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah.
Because they actually having some inspection at the site this morning. So yeah.
Yeah, fine. So,
And they will come in on board. in the
yeah, that's
later.
fine, right? Yeah, no, I'm recording it, so that's fine. Yeah. So
Yeah. So the recording is the best.
yeah. We created this course because we were delivering training for people on LinkedIn, and as part of our training for lead gen, we found that people weren't able to use LinkedIn effectively, and they were coming to us and saying, "Okay, how do I actually use it effectively?" I think I've got someone there that wants to come in. Is that someone coming? Have you got that, Monica? Yeah. So
Yeah.
we created this because people said, actually, I want to have, well, there was 2 of us created it. There was another guy called Russell Dalgleish, and people were coming to us and saying, we want what you've got. We like the way you're doing it. We like the way you engage. We like the world that you've created within LinkedIn. Yeah, how do we do that? And we had quite a big push for that. So, which was people going beyond the basic usage of LinkedIn and going into this advanced version of it, where you can build brand, you can organize events, yeah, right? You can drive really high volumes of leads into your pipeline. You can target market. You can communicate with people in a variety of different ways. And even in 3 2-hour sessions, we'll only just touch on things. You know? So you will be really, really surprised at how far you can actually go with LinkedIn as a platform. And the beauty is it's completely free. This is the amazing thing, right? As a resource, it's free. You don't have to pay at the moment. That's going to change almost definitely. They're already put it. Have you all noticed that you've got Navigator and then you've got another layer below Navigator that costs about $40 a month? And that's the first push into the B2C market, where they're encouraging people and they almost force you to go into that micro version of a paid. And we'll cover that later on, yeah, right? You know, and the viability of whether you should do that or shouldn't do that. But before I start, let me just sort of explain. You know me, our director of learning is Lynette Tan, right? She's a lecturer at National University of Singapore, and she's also director of studies at one of the divisions, and she's part of the learning culture. And when we teach, we get you really engaged. We're not really interested in delivering a course. We're more interested in the outcomes, and your world's changed dramatically off the back of it. So we try and use advanced methodologies of learning and get you so the way we do it is designed by her. Yeah, right? I don't sit down and say this is how I'm training. Monica obviously is our operations director, and then Catherine, you won't meet her because she's based in Holland, but she's she sort of coordinates everything, brings everything together normally. Yeah. Everything I do rotates around sales, the world of sales and how sales works, and I'll explain a few bits in a minute about myself and what I've been doing. We use a base principle called Bloom's taxonomy. We explain something to you, okay? We then want you to apply it, and then we want you to make it your own. So the idea is that there's a journey there. You almost, we say you have to do the basic model the way we say to do it, so that you've got a base model. And then once you're doing that, then change it, right? As much as you like, adapt it. And that's the secret to getting all of our stuff to work well for you. And it's all tested. It's what we do, right? I don't do anything with you at any of our courses that we don't do ourselves and keep doing it ourselves, and our clients are doing it on a regular basis. And then we've worked with hundreds of people and hundreds of businesses on this stuff. Yeah. I'm assuming you've all used Zoom and know how to use Zoom, but just a quick one, right? Can you click View Options on the screen? And then what I want you to do is press Annotate. And then I want you to go to Shapes And I want you to put love hearts and crosses all over the screen, yeah?
Stamps, but yeah.
And stamps, is it right? Sorry, yeah, stamps. This is why you're here, Monica.
No worries.
You think after 100 said perfect.
Yeah.
Our biggest we've been using Zoom, Adobe, and Teams but we don't do much with Teams, but we've been using the technologies for the last 3 years. We were way ahead of the curve on everything. And we had a massive breakthrough about a year and a half ago when we were sat teaching a group of 21-year-olds, and they started putting love hearts on the screen when they like things. And that was a moment we realized that actually all that's between us is a piece of glass. It's not Zoom, right? When I hear people say, I don't like technology, or I don't like Zoom, or it's just because we're not engaging with it the right way, all right? When you engage with it the right way, it's incredible, all right? And it changes your relationships with your clients, changes the relationships with us as well, yeah? So part of this journey of the 3 sessions is we want to really get you interacting with Zoom and understanding Zoom so that you can use it with your clients the same way we do, yeah? It's part of our value proposition, all right? That we want to create that adoption into technology in that advanced format. And that comes very much from Lynette, sitting down with us saying, how do you do this? How do you create an interaction? So you can see hearts here all the way through the session. Always put hearts whenever you like anything. I want you to chat to me in the chat box, or just switch a microphone on and talk, right? At any point you want, any questions. Joseph, it's fantastic asking questions. Just ask them, because the questions you've got in your head are the questions everybody else has got, right? So don't hold back. And as you get more comfortable with me, you'll realize that it's better, right? So thank you. Excellent. Let me just clear all this. There we go. So there's 4 parts to the course, yeah? The first is just the fundamentals of LinkedIn: profile, landing page posting, articles, thinking about your databases, and really just core principles that sit around LinkedIn. There's a lot of information. You might need to go back to the videos and watch it, right? And but there's no doubt that, as you'll see, LinkedIn is critical to what you do. The second part is tools, yeah, right? Navigator, groups, surveys, tagging, smart links, hashtags, community building. I mean, all of these things are available in LinkedIn. It's mental, yeah, right? What you can do with it. The third is practical application. So, content creation, nurturing, personal branding, corporate branding. And then the fourth is metrics, follow through, yeah, right? Discussion, sharing, building out. So that's why we do 3 2-hour sessions, gives you the knowledge, and then 2 1-hour sessions is the Q&A, where you raise issues, you ask questions, and we just run through practical things that you're doing. I mean, we have a set of metrics we want you to follow through on as well. Yeah, so we want to track the numbers, what you do, and we push you to do the numbers. I mean, you guys all know numbers anyway with BNI, but we push you to do the numbers so that you can assess the change and the impact of what's actually happening. Yeah? Outcomes, simple, right? Understand best practice for LinkedIn, understand how you or your team should be using it. It's a really interesting thing, but some people think that LinkedIn, everyone knows on average 1,000 people. They don't. It's 400. They know on average. So every team member that you have, or anybody you engage with that's part of your brand, knows 400 or 500 people that they could be sharing your content with. Yeah. We want you to write an article. We want posts. We want articles shared. We want events, groups, video posted, a personalized strategy for LinkedIn. And really, over the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks, we want you to master LinkedIn, right? We want you to sit down and go, actually, this is how I'm going to use LinkedIn. So again, the output is, this is what I'm going to do. And some people say, I've only got an hour a week to do it. Like lawyers, we do a lot of work in professional services, lawyers and auditors and consulting, and they only have an hour to 2 hours a week to do. So we just build a model around that. If you've got 4 hours, an hour a day, then you build a model around that. It depends on what you want to achieve, how you're trying to achieve it, how you want to use it, and how much time you've got to allocate to it. Okay, agenda today: profile, landing page, posting, articles, your database, nurture. We probably won't get them all done because I'm going to spend more time on the profile and that initial part with you. And we're going to run through some things because what the other course that we've done before is they've had the foundational stuff there. So I'm going to assume that you don't have that at the moment. Yeah. A little bit about me. I'm a huge fan of reinvention. I came to Singapore 23 years ago, and I was really successful in Scotland, right? I had a lovely house and a nice car and, you know, good life. And then I came here and it was a train wreck. And for 12 years, I earned $20,000 a year selling life insurance, financial services. And then, and I put loads of weight on, had a baby, and, you know, decided to make some changes because it wasn't working, right? And my mum basically is this really tough Scottish woman, and she said, hey, how can you be so successful and then such a train wreck one Christmas, and forced me to reassess what I was doing. So I made changes. And within that period of time, I 5th in the World Championships as a triathlete. I represent Singapore as well, look, you see that? At the same time, my revenue went selling life insurance to, I only worked 2 days a week, and I generated about $80,000 a month, so just over $1 million a year, over a 6-year growth period. So we can all change quite dramatically from 20,000 a year to 80,000 a month. Yeah. It all evolves, yeah, right? And we all can transform, and it's surprising what you can actually do if you apply yourself the right way. Sales, we need salespeople, we need to drive revenue. What's really interesting, and I think the important part here, is that preparation, adaptability, domain knowledge is the key thing. Needs identification skills and closing ability has a direct correlation in failure and success in sales. People that are skilled in closing fail. The metrics are really, really clear on this, yeah? Because people don't want to be closed anymore, yeah? They want people to have a relationship, they want to have trust, they want to go through the process. And that's what LinkedIn lets you do. It lets you build relationships with people, which is why I put it here. Same with businesses, 100 businesses, 1994, 22 years later, only 90 and a half of them are left. So it's going to get worse, huh? So, and this is how I created this. And when I first created this slide, it was right at the beginning where everything was like that. And then we went through this adaptive period in the world. And then we've ended up in this new world, yeah, right, where we're at here. And there is definitely a normality here, and it is definitely different from where we were a year ago, and it's not going to, we will never go back to what we were doing before. So the embracing of technology and embracing of it's not digitization, it's understanding what you need to do with the tools that are available and using them the right way. It's like, for me, Zoom, Dynamics, Microsoft, you know, Adobe, I use any platform. I'm completely agnostic. I don't care, whatever my clients want to use, you know, we use it. If they want to communicate WeChat, we communicate WeChat. We work in the world that it is now, yeah, right, and engage with people in environments they're comfortable with. Yeah. Lead gen, sales, look, sales is really complex. Getting your model right takes a lot of moving parts, yeah. So if we're not covering the sales piece, this is about how you use LinkedIn to build your business, and how to generate leads. And ultimately, where do we find leads? How do we generate them? So normally we would sit and say, what's your target account list? What are you trying to do from a lead generation perspective? Once you bring the leads in, you have to categorize them, store them somewhere in CRM or whatever you're doing, and then nurture them. And this is where LinkedIn, and then book meetings. LinkedIn lets you do all of these things, you know? Off the charts if you understand how to use it properly. The way everybody uses it is wrong, you know? I mean, it's completely wrong, right? I mean, I haven't received one message from anyone in the last 5 years that's not cut and paste. Not one. Everybody sends a standard message. They don't personalize anything, right? They don't human engagement, and that's what we're going to show you, you know? So before we start, what are your goals for the course? Do you want to write them here? Do you want to do a little text and put it up here? So if you go to annotate and then you go to text or tell me out loud, what are your goals? What's your objectives? Yeah. What do you want to get from this? Oops. Edwin, what do you want to get?
Yep, if you want to type it in the chat, I can paste.
Yeah, type it in the chat as well. Monica, pop up.
Well, I don't really use LinkedIn a lot, so I was curious about the course, and I just wanted to, at least I think maybe engage in LinkedIn a little bit more than I currently do right now.
Mm-hmm. You know, cool. I think for lawyer, well, I mean, I think for any business, it's a no-brainer. You have you know, it's your brand, right? It's how the world engages with you now, right? The world will, the first thing anybody sees when they search Edwin is LinkedIn. whenever you meet anybody, they're on LinkedIn. It's very seldom I meet anybody not on LinkedIn. So high visibility, increased connections. Grace, what do you want to get from LinkedIn?
I type use it to promote the business, like to raise awareness about Sing Si Soon.
Aaron, are you there? I don't make it a rule, but I always try and get everybody to put their videos on, if that's okay, you don't have to, so it's always better, it makes it a bit more intimate, unless you're an introvert. But if you're an introvert, I don't mind, That's the beauty of Zoom, right? If you're an introvert, you can sort of hide a little bit, which is really cool, and you can engage when you want, right? So I just sort of put that caveat in there, So clearer use of LinkedIn, high visibility. Let's have a look at what else we've got here. Self-services, engage more. Cool. So we're on the same page, we've done the survey with people, and this is the results. We would have done it with you guys, and we'll send it to you later on, to get you to reflect on it. But when we looked at people, what's their primary goals, to build personal brand, to drive leads, and to be more strategic was the key goals. And what frustrates you is understanding how to use it. Most people don't really actually understand how to use LinkedIn. How often do they use it? The people that we've talked to are using it daily, so which was quite interesting, 50% of them. So I think I would look at that metric quite seriously. That's a lot of people are engaging on LinkedIn on a daily basis now, much more than they were before. And I'm talking about Indonesia here. I'm talking about Malaysia. I'm talking about Australia, Vietnam, right? There's a deep interest in LinkedIn as a tool. Okay, so profile. Let's start with what holds you guys back from using LinkedIn well? Milana, what's stopping you? Time, yeah.
Time. There's
Time.
no lecture.
Everyone
Maybe
has
also lack of there is a lot of like online courses and everything how to use it, but it takes like another 15 hours to watch. All the details, how to use this button, that button. So yeah. So basically, I need like a quick summary, what to do, how to do, start doing it. That's it. Because I have a LinkedIn account, but I haven't really used it, like maybe once in a week. That's about it.
Yeah. No, it's a really good point. Yeah. Usha, what holds you back from LinkedIn? Usha, is that the right way to spell it? Usha, yeah. Pronounced. You're muted, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Basically, it's not knowing what else you can do besides putting up your profile or putting up your information.
Cool. No, and that's a really, really common thing. Right? I think that's the biggest thing that everybody faces, that actually they don't know quite how to do it, right? What to do with it, Farhan, what's your thoughts? Financial services, yeah?
Yeah, I'm actually don't know how to use it well, and my impression is that not many people use LinkedIn. So I mean, there's a lot to manage. Like you got Facebook, you got Instagram, and So I feel like there's a lot of things to juggle.
And it's no, absolutely. I hear you. And a lot of people think the same thing. Yeah, a lot of social media. What else, Joseph? What's your thoughts?
It's the same. I am largely unfamiliar with LinkedIn. I only know that business owners like to use LinkedIn to connect as opposed to Facebook. So a bit confused over there.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, right? And look, I think that's evolving, right? In Asia, especially. Indonesia used to be all Facebook. And Singapore was sort of half-half. Now everyone's crossing over to LinkedIn. It's the business tool, and that's where people are going, right? That are engaging in this in the world. I mean, it is quite amazing. So not sure what to post is good. Philip, your challenges with LinkedIn?
Oh, I thought all along LinkedIn was supposed to be for looking for a job or for recruiting. So never thought of using it for business.
Yeah, that's cool, right? And my personal opinion is Singapore is just a little bit slow in the pickup of how it's used. Yeah. To be honest with you, right? They're not quite wrapped their heads around it for some reason. Yeah. But there is a lot of people on it, and this last 4 months has changed that quite profoundly. I see the interaction on LinkedIn, but I think Singaporeans don't engage because they're quite a conservative society, so they don't want to put their stuff out there, right? They don't want to. It's a personal branding, because remember, LinkedIn's personal. It's not it is company, but it's not a company, if you know what I mean. Yeah? You are a personal, you are a human being as an employee or an owner of a business, rather than as a human being in Facebook, which is personal, right? It's the difference between the two is quite sort of clear. Yeah. So we just navigate through this. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with that moniker, right? What am I going to do right after? It's going to be a disaster moniker, yeah. I have to do all this myself, yeah, right? So all this stuff goes on in the background here that you sort of let's see, 37 million in 2009, right? 467 million 2016, 575 million, yeah. And you can see quite interestingly, Singapore 2 million plus, yeah. That's a lot of people. That's pretty profound. The last time we checked was 630 million. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be 750 now. Yeah. LinkedIn's goal is 3 billion, which is a bit extreme, but the goal is 3 billion people on LinkedIn. Yeah. 45% of the users are senior management. Now, what's really interesting is if you look at this number here, 260, only 260 are using it, okay, on a monthly basis. So a lot of people are on or were on when this was originally done. It was about a year and a half ago, this study, that aren't using it. So even though you're on LinkedIn and you want to target someone, right, it doesn't mean they're using LinkedIn. Yeah? So what we're not saying that you can get in touch with everyone, right? But you can actually engage with that. You'll be able to engage with a third or half of the people you want to engage with if you do it the right way. People like LinkedIn. It's one of these social media platforms that self-polices itself. People don't really spam. They don't really scam. They don't really send out the wrong posts. It's business, yeah, right? Everyone knows it. That's how they use it, and it's designed to do it that way. And people sometimes.
Fraser, sorry, can I just jump in and ask you a question? You just now mentioned something. So is it, are there less trolls also on LinkedIn?
The beauty of trolls is you can just block them, right? And they can't see anything you do anymore, right? They can't.
Well, I mean, my point is there's less of that kind of, if you read the post on Facebook and you read posts on LinkedIn, do you see a very different type of?
I don't see any trolls. I think I saw one bad comment, but 3 weeks ago for the first time, and I was a bit shocked. Yeah, right. So
that was just my question.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. So people tend to be very nice on it. Yeah, right. And if they don't like something, they just don't say anything.
Fraser, I have a question. So just now you had some statistics, right? Would you say more than 50, so 45% of the users are senior management, so mainly C-suite people?
I mean, meaning from manager, senior manager, director, up, yeah, right? I would think that's where they're coming from, yeah, right? My experience.
So, I mean, that's where the quality of the interaction comes from. You really don't have people that would intentionally want to, like troll, like what Edwin had said, is just to make a negative comment for the sake of commenting. Yeah.
People don't do that. It's just too much effort, right? People are just not doing it, right? It's really interesting. We're finding that I just don't see that negative thing happening at all. I mean, it might change, right, in the future. I don't know. But if you get someone that's bugging you, right, you just block them, right? And they can't see anything you do. I mean, they're completely obliterated from the world. I don't know. I don't think Facebook's quite the same. Yeah, it maybe is, but I don't know. I don't really do Facebook so much. I have it, but I don't use it so much. But what does it do? No need for cold calling anymore. You don't lose your contacts. You keep them forever, right? No more location barriers. Easy to ask for referrals. It's changed the asking for referrals quite profoundly. I mean, I know you guys get a different type of referral. So this is a more generic referral, but it does allow you to strategically sit down with people and target marketplaces in a way that you haven't done before. loads of business intelligence at your your fingertips, and it helps you build your brand, which is really critical. You know? So as a direct tool to get appointments, it doesn't work. But as part of a strategy, systematically worked over a period of time, it works very, very well. You know? So if you just sit down and don't post anything and don't engage with LinkedIn and send cut and paste messages to people saying, I want to have an appointment with you, I think that's a complete waste of time. You know? It's just not how people engage. And the people you want to talk to will not, well, it's unlikely they'll engage with you. You know? So there's a system and a process around how to do it in a human way, right? You know, you're not on LinkedIn, or you've got a poor profile. You know what? People Google you now. That's the way the world works. I want to see who Edwin is. I want to see who Philip is. I want to go to Joseph. I see your profile, right? Either it's professional and it's good, right, or it's not, right? And it's simple as that. Yeah. Okay. We already know 1 in 2 white collar workers are on LinkedIn. This is my favorite set of slides. This was created by someone that used to do slides for me. What proportion of LinkedIn users think it's been successful at growing their business?
76.
76. Anybody else? I'm 89%. So, see, do you like your cake, a cake, sort of like packet of cake? Then you can have your cake and you can eat it. So it's like a joke. Have your cake and eat it. LinkedIn's like that, right? And it's free. It's an amazing thing. It doesn't cost anything, right? People love LinkedIn. It is useful if you use it consistently. Our philosophy of LinkedIn is Facebook with a tie. Okay, so it is a networking tool now. It is not a tool. It's not a recruitment tool anymore. That changed 3-4 years ago. You can still use it for recruitment, and it works very, very effectively. But it's not LinkedIn's mission anymore. Yeah, LinkedIn's mission is networking and bringing people together. Yeah, is your face of the world. You know, you have your faces, but LinkedIn's your business face. Whatever that is. We're really, really getting your profile right is the first thing that you want to do, because that's what people see. And if you have a poor profile, ultimately people won't connect with you. So if you want to connect with someone in a target marketplace, if you want to engage with certain groups of people, your profile is a reflection of you. You know, we just quickly go through some of the things. Good profile picture is really, really important. We don't like pictures of weddings or on holiday or, you know, fancy things. You're right, you know. The key is to keep it simple so that when someone looks at it, go, that's Fraser, that's Monica. You can put a background. I was in Scotland when I took this picture, so that's Edinburgh Castle. You can have Singapore. I have Singapore in my background now, and Edinburgh, because we do a bit of work in Scotland still. And Monica's in Thailand, right? That was a Thai picture from Thailand. But you can see the difference when you've got the background. It's very, very nice. I recommend that you go to a passport shop that sells passport pictures. They always have a nice Canon camera that takes a white picture of you. Get them to just take a picture. Costs $15, $20, and you could post that there, and it's perfectly adequate. Yeah, should be professional though. Watch your image, and the way you look actually communicates with people. So when people look at the picture, actually, it's much more powerful than you realize it is. It's important for 2 reasons. One, when someone comes in and you send a connection request to them, they will look at your picture and they will judge you, okay? They will look at the background picture and they'll make a decision to connect with you. They'll also look at your title. They'll also look at your about. You know? We want people to connect. So what we find is that if you count the number of connection requests you send and the number accepted, you'll find that there's a ratio there. You know? Okay? It's an important ratio because we want to know how many accept your connection. And a good ratio is 60 to 70%. When people start, usually with a poor profile, it's 30%, which basically means 40% of people or 30% of people are not engaging with you, you know, because of your profile. Extremely profound. You know? So it can't be taken lightly enough. You know? You need to complete it. Okay, LinkedIn likes it being completed. They gamify it. You can see there on the right. They push you to complete it. Fill out your industry, your education. And one of the critical goals is you need 500 connections. It's a measurement. It's a thing that says you're engaging on LinkedIn. When you have less than 500 connections, it means you're not really engaging on LinkedIn that much. That's how people that use LinkedIn a lot see it. Your about is really important. A lot of people put in their CV. They copy their description from their CV. That's not what the about is best for. It's about you, what you do for your customers, what you're passionate about, what differentiates you as a human being. I really like this. Ever since I was a little kid, software development's been my passion. I still remember sitting in front of an Atari 800 computer. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember this time, right? But this was when computers first came out. Yeah? So we know this guy here has a deep love for software, right, and computing. And it identifies him. So what do you do, right? If you're in the legal industry, why are you in the legal industry? If you're in services, why are you in services? If you're in what in the florist world, let's put in there what you're about, what you stand for as a human, describe it. It's important. And take the time to rewrite that. Everybody usually gets it wrong. I always think it's important to get recommendations. A lot of people don't have recommendations, but recommendations on LinkedIn are a lot more authentic than recommendations elsewhere, because usually they're from people that someone can go back to and say, hi, I saw your recommendation, and actually have a conversation with the person. Industry information, that means posting, sharing content, being relevant, and then updating regularly, making sure you update your LinkedIn. So, any questions? Why don't we do a case study, right? This is Lisa. And this is Lisa. They actually both have the same surname as well. This Lisa here on the right is a friend of mine, so I asked her permission, so she said it's okay. So what I want to do, what's wrong with these profiles? What's right with them? What do we like? What don't we like? So why don't we mark X's next to the fails and love hearts next to the good bits, and talk through while we're doing it. So start with the one on the left, and then we'll jump over to the right. So sorry, Winnie, but you keep that there. It's okay. So what's wrong with the one on the left? Yeah, no background, no profile picture. Philip, what's wrong with the one on the left?
I feel it's a bit simple.
It's very simple, yeah.
Yeah. Too basic.
Too basic.
Profile for CEO.
Yeah, it's a bit weird as a CEO, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't sort of make sense. What else is wrong with it? Someone else got the contacts, number of contacts there, 16, No, yeah, you're right there. Now, what executive director, what's the problem there? What's actually wrong with that?
Profile.
Pardon?
No company profile.
No company profile, exactly. So you can tell it's no company profile because there's not a link to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't come up with a picture there. So what do we think of this profile?
Not good.
Not good. What else? Anything else?
Very bad.
Bad.
Mila, I'll buy you a dictionary for Christmas.
Yeah.
I think there's no clue on what this profile is about. There's totally no clue.
Yeah, well, I think it's like this person is just saying, don't bother me on LinkedIn. Find me elsewhere. Yeah.
It could be
No,
a spam
no
profile.
headline, no about.
No. And there's no about as well. So let's cross over at Lisa. This one here. What do we like? What don't we like? Yeah. And there's stuff in there people don't like as well. What do we like about it? What don't we like?
The background picture very colorful.
It's very colorful. So you like, don't like?
I don't like, too colorful.
Yeah. The
And
attention.
too drawing, like too cartoon.
Yeah.
Really,
don't like it, right?
It really depends on what she does. I still don't know what she does, but if she was an artist and this was one of her works, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Marketing, charity.
But if not, then it's a little bit unusual.
But I like that she has got a picture, so you could put like a face to the name. You can
Yeah,
see.
so she's got a picture there.
Mm.
But what do we think of the picture though? It's not a professional picture, is it? Yeah.
Could the picture be bigger for her face because she's too small in the background?
Yeah, I think that's just me because I put the two pictures together. Yeah, so it makes it look smaller. Yeah. So.
Okay.
I like that she's got it right up too about what she does, and she
Yeah.
uses very positive like words,
Yeah.
passionate about people, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. Yeah. Now, did you notice in her picture at the right of her head? Can you see what's there? Yeah.
Too small.
Yeah. Can you? You can't.
Laptop, a chair,
So at the right of her head, you've got wine glasses.
table.
Oh.
My glasses. Can't see.
Yeah. So at the right of her head, there's wine glasses. So for me, I like a professional picture. I would prefer a white background. I prefer exactly how she looks there, just with a white background. Keep it clean, keep it professional. And then she stands out more, you know. She got 500 connections, which is great. Her description's nice. Yeah, right. It tells you what she does. Passionate about people, continuously seeking innovation. I mean, other than that, two things. Personally, I don't like a picture, and I don't like the background as well. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Right? So I think slightly more professional and a different style of picture would be better. It just looks like she's taking it in the office and someone's taking it with an iPhone.
Could I ask you whether or not it makes sense to have Lisa doing so many different things? She's in client relations, she's in marketing, she's also in charity and fundraising. So this is a mix of what she does. Do you want it to be simpler? Don't say so much.
I don't mind it like this because I think a lot of people just have a very formal title. And I think it's too one-dimensional, all right? So the thought within LinkedIn and the LinkedIn world is to use the title to broaden who you are as in a personal level as well. So, you know, I would put endurance athlete in mine, right? You know, and then you know, CEO and founder, and keep it nice and simple. I keep it simple, but I still have a little bit of personalization. I think maybe you're right. I think she's got one too many in there. But it's still nice to let people what you are, what you do, so they can look at it and see. Again, the purpose is people are going to see the profile. Are they going to connect with you? Does that allow them to engage with you on an ongoing basis?
I see.
I just thought of a question. Joseph, you go ahead first. Sorry.
Yeah, I just thought that if she can do this, I can do something which is, I think, not so good. I can say I'm in nutrition, which is true. I'm in computers, which is true. And I'm also in BNI, which is true. And I'm now starting an events business. So I have 4 totally different aspects.
Yeah.
And will it attract or will it detract? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Your one.
I think you can.
I was just about to say, actually, yeah. Fraser, would you recommend we put some stuff about BNI as well, our own membership profile?
I don't see why not, right? That's what you're about, right? You stand for that. I mean, it's a personal choice, yeah, right? So again, is it going to help? The purpose of this title is people are going to connect with you. Does it affect the number of connections or not? It's interesting, right? It's a very simple thing. If my target market is sales directors and I send out 100 connection requests, if I change my profile and instead of 40 connecting with me, 60 connect, that's good, right? If I change my profile and I get less connections accepted, it's bad. So LinkedIn allows me to build a database of people that are connected to me. And we're going to just talk about that later, what you can do with those and how you can engage with them. But it allows me to build my bank of contacts in the vertical I want to talk to. So sales directors, CFOs, CTOs, CIOs, you know, I want to talk to project managers, I want to talk to operations, I want to talk to, you know, banking, I want to talk to, you name it, you can search it in LinkedIn.
Fraser, would it be the right way to first look at what exactly you want to sell on LinkedIn? And then when you put in the titles, right, you put in so that you build credibility and reputation based on exactly what you want to sell. So you're much more specific. Because a lot of us, like even if I say I'm a lawyer, right, like we have so many services as a lawyer, but like in my case, I know specifically there are 2 services that I want to use LinkedIn to sell. right?
And I would put them there. I would put lawyer, something that sits within the law word. There's a title for what you do as a lawyer that it's formal, right? And I'd have the formal title there. Like I think Edwin, I saw in Edwin's, you've got director, right? You know, which is cool. But I would have your specificity in there, right? I would do that. I'd have the two things in there, definitely. You know? Because I want people to see what I do, right? Instantly, you know?
Fraser, but this case study that you're showing now completely reminds me of the time when I sat down with you. Just guys who's here, my profile was exactly how it was on the left. I didn't add any pictures. I didn't add anything. And then after my quick power with Fraser, we have added some stuff on my LinkedIn. This is exactly how it was before and after, right, Fraser? Do you remember? Yeah.
And the more senior you are, the more responsibility you have to have it right, because you can, as a senior person, you can engage more effectively than one of your junior team members. Yeah. So I do think you've got to think of your title carefully, right? You know, people deal with senior people easier, right? They'll accept the connection requests. Yeah. So even business development, I tend not to get people to put business development in as a title because I think people don't accept them. I would, like, for example, software, I would put consultant in there rather than business development. Yeah. Okay, or what your specialities within software, optimization of cloud, or you know, whatever you're doing, right? There's a title there that sits around what you're doing that delineates it so people understand in a professional sense and feel drawn to that. It's a good question, and there's not a black and white answer. You've got to work it out, but the key is to do it. Share it in the group. We're going to create a little group in LinkedIn, or share it in the WhatsApp group. Actually, we just use WhatsApp. And then share a screenshot of your profile, say, what do you think? And I'll give you the feedback. Yeah. Yeah. Any more questions on this? Any questions? And as we go through the next 3 weeks, just ask questions in the group. Okay. Just take a picture of what you're not sure about, put it in the group. Again, the peer-to-peer learning is the most important part of this whole process. These questions you're asking are the questions everyone else is thinking. You've got to ask them, right? That's what makes this work really well for us. Yeah. So it's really good. Yeah.
Well, my question, maybe you'll answer it later probably, because I don't know how to change the background photo. I can change my profile photo, but not the background photo.
You have to do it in the computer. You can't do it in the
okay. Right. Okay.
So it's very easy. You just, once you go into your computer, you go to profile, you can change it. Yeah?
Okay.
And I use a system called what's it called? Upworks? No, it's not Upworks. Monica, what is it?
Now I've blanked on it. It's also Unsplash.
Unsplash, that's it. Yeah. So we use Unsplash, right? It's a free photograph thing, yeah, right, where you can download pictures and there's no obligation with it. So it really is good, right? We like it, yeah. Go in there and I would look at your industry, financial services or digital or cloud, or you'll find, when you put a search in like that, you'll find a picture that's relevant and you can put that as your profile picture, yeah, in the background, yeah. And, you know, if you've got kids, they really know what they're doing. Get a white background, make sure the light's right, get the light right, get them to take a picture, let your kids edit it, right? They'll be brilliant at it, they'll do it perfectly, all right, you know. But if you're not sure, go to a photograph shop, one of these little cheap passport shops. They've got lovely camera, they've got lights and everything, and get them to take a picture of you with a white background. It looks great, right? Nice headshot, shoulders like that. Looking at the camera, a little bit sideways is okay as well, yeah? Makes a big difference. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have some fun, right? Your turn. I did a bit of research and I couldn't find some of your profiles, so I apologize if it's not there at the moment. But I'm quite happy to give you feedback and everything like that. But what we're all going to do, is everybody okay? Well, anyway, here we go. Farhan, right? What do we like about his profile, yeah? What's good and bad?
I don't know. What does it actually mean, this first? Like, it's every time I appear next to the profile.
Yeah, that's good.
Second, third. What is that?
The first means that I'm connected to Farhan, right? So him and I are connected. A second is, it means someone I know I'm connected to is connected to him. And a third means we don't have any connections in common, you know?
Oh, okay.
So what do we like about his profile, his picture? Well, about his picture, about his profile here. What do we like?
Well, I mean, he's wearing a jacket, I suppose. He looks,
yeah,
looks,
he looks really professional in the picture. It's great, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Really professional picture. I really like it. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks to Aaron.
Yeah.
Good, right? But see the difference. The picture brings out, he hasn't got a background. So you need to get a background in there, Farron, right? It'll make a big difference. Get the Finexus background, get a financial background. And there's lots of things you could put in there that signify financial services. And look, I was a financial consultant. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Put it there. That's what you are, yeah? You know, you can lay it out like that. If you want to add a personalization to your title, feel free to do that. You know, about what you are about as an individual, you're right, that identifies you with. When clients look at this, what do they see? Yeah, because remember, there's 3 people see you. There's new people that you've never met before. There's new prospects that you meet. When you prospect someone, you're going to connect with them on LinkedIn, and there's your existing clients when you connect with LinkedIn, right? So there's 3 different groups that are going to engage with you and see your profile. You've only got 216 connections. You need to get that to 500. Okay, you should be connecting with people. As a financial advisor, we want to let the world know that we exist. You know, I would want to have 5,000 connections. Yeah? And who's your perfect client? Who do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with you know, which industries? Yeah, engineering or, you know, audit or accounting or legal, or especially as a financial advisor, if you know your marketplace and you know where a large percentage of your clients are, you can start connecting with them. Yeah. I look.
So my concern is like, I'm not sure whether my existing clients or my target audience are on LinkedIn or using it. I think that's my biggest.
Yeah. What you're doing, and a lot of people do it, is you're what I would call overthinking, right? It's there's always a reason not to do something, or there's a reason. There's always going to be people that are not there. There's always going to be always things are going to go wrong with it, right? Don't worry about them. Half your clients are on LinkedIn, yeah, or 1/3 of your clients are on LinkedIn. 1/3 your target market is definitely on LinkedIn. So we know that people are there. It's a tool for you to engage with them in a professional sense, yeah. So you definitely can communicate with them, even if you do nothing else but post 2 posts a week, and you connect with 2,000 people in a certain vertical, and 200 of them are your existing client base. They will see your posts, and you will be front of their mind on an ongoing basis. You lose nothing, right? Yes, I agree. The other 60% are not on it, but that you can't do anything about that. You need to find where they are. They're on Facebook. That's why I'm saying we're agnostic from a technology point of view. I like Facebook, WeChat, Instagram, you know, you name it. You know, we should be using it if our clients are there, right? So you're a tough one because it's a B2C world, Farron, unless you're doing any B2B stuff, yeah? Do you do B2B?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm a B2C mostly, yeah.
But LinkedIn still works, right? B2C, I've got very successful financial advisors that I work with that are on LinkedIn and doing a really brilliant job of using LinkedIn to engage with the world, yeah? Very, 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 it's critical, right? As a financial advisor, yeah? Right, any more questions?
I'm thinking on what about my background? Do I need to change it?
Yeah, definitely. So I would think of the Singapore background, or a financial background, or financial markets background. Just do a search on Unsplash, all right? Do a word search on Unsplash for pictures, and then you can download the picture, upload it. It's very, very easy to do. And then think of what your target market is. Again, look, I worked in financial services for 25 years, Farron, so I'm happy to have a quick 15-minute chat with you about what I would do if I was you, yeah? But I would have a clear target market. So for me, I work with expats working in Singapore, aged between 30 and 50 years old, and we're in certain industries, yeah, right, with young families ideally. And I got those through referrals, and I got that through, we didn't have LinkedIn then, but I would use LinkedIn now to tap into the marketplace, yeah. Definitely, yeah. But very narrow space. I knew what I wanted to work, and that I find works better in financial services when you know the space you operate in well, yeah. And if you can find an industry, it's even better because you can start to connect with people in that industry. Yeah? as an example, maybe you want to connect with people in engineering, yeah, right? Because you do a lot of work in engineering. You know? I can just search, and I'll show you that later. Yeah. So right, let me move forward. Yeah, sorry, is that okay?
Thanks, Fraser, for the.
Well, I'm just trying to challenge you here, get you to think about things differently, reassess. It does take a lot of work to make this work, but you can do it in an hour and a half a week, you know, quite easily. Right, Milana, what do we think of Milana? Great picture, it's a professional picture, no background. The about's really good, huh?
How come she has this I and the LinkedIn account beside her name?
Do you have LinkedIn Navigator?
Premium.
Premium, she got premium.
Oh, okay.
So the last time I used it for the career search.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out.
No.
What does premium allows? Just for the sake of us.
It just gives you a different search capability. Yeah, so it allows you to search different in a more detailed way. Yeah, right. So more specific, and then Navigator allows you to store data and build data from it. You know, build contacts and lists and engage differently and send in messages. There's a Navigator lets you do different things. You know?
Is it good for networking? If you you're saying store your leads, right? Those that mean more to you.
I wouldn't recommend Navigator and even the advanced of LinkedIn at the moment until you need to go to the next level and until you meet a barrier. Most people don't use the tools the right way. So my view on it is get the basics right within LinkedIn, which is free, and you can virtually do everything you want. I mean, we've got some mathematical methodologies of searching that actually allow you to do a more sophisticated search than normal. Yeah, right, by using some equations to do it, and it works really, really nicely. So you don't really need to have the paid. It's only when you step up your lead engagement model where you've got CRM working well and you sync the things together, right? And start really being proactive within a target marketplace. You know? So that's why Navigator is invaluable when you know who your clients are and you're systematically engaging with the companies. You know? But I'm going to come to that because that's 2 sessions away. Yeah. Okay, and we'll cover that and answer those questions. So we like it. Look, I would, in your about, Milana, I'd have more about what you're passionate about. What do you do? You know, what are you about, right? And what is your business do? Why are you doing what you do? Get a nice background in there. And you've only got 249 connections. You need to get that to 500.
250 to go.
Yeah, it's easy, yeah. So, how long does it take to send 500 connection requests? Sorry, no, 1,000 connection requests, not 500. Anybody know? 1,000.
Like this 249, I think it took me about 4 years.
Yeah, so it takes 31 minutes to send 1,000 connection requests at a 60% pickup rate. Okay, so you know, you could solve your problem in 31 minutes. Yeah.
But then you don't want to connect with everyone, right? You really want to connect with.
No, yeah, that's doing a search, connecting with the right people. You know? So when you do a search, and I mean, it's more difficult now because you're not on Navigator and they don't let you do what I did then, right? But I timed myself to send 1,000 connection requests about a year and a half ago, and it took me.
That was like personalized, or it's just like.
Yeah. No, we do. I'm going to come to that personalized in a minute. Yeah? So there's no point in personalizing. But I'll explain later. Yeah, right. We'll get to that. You know? So you send a connection request to a target market. It's a CEO, a sales director in financial services, in whatever you want, right? So it's targeted. You know? It's not just sending connections to random people. Yeah?
Okay.
So we'll come to that in a minute. So background picture.
Sorry.
She's got sales. Oh yeah. So so she's got her things tagged there. Look, she's got her companies there, which is good, right?
What's going to happen if you're going to click on this view in Sales Navigator? What kind of information?
That's mine, yeah, right. That's my own. That's a picture I've taken. I look at you, and I can look at you in Sales.
Yeah, I know. Like you already signed up with this Sales Navigator, which I actually came across maybe about a year ago, but I never really explored. But for example, if I'm not a member of the Sales Navigator and you are the member, like what the difference does it make? Like, do you see any extra information?
Nothing different. Same.
Same. Okay.
Same information. It's just a tool that you can use differently, right? I can put lists. I can put you on a list, a target account list. I can keep notes in the Navigator system on communication with you. I can do all sorts of things with it, right? That allow me to focus on a marketplace.
Okay.
Right. Anybody else? Any thoughts on this? Good. Gracelyn, what do we think of Gracelyn's picture profile? Hey, how come you not got 500 connections? Went through the course and then not kept going?
I stopped. But
Okay.
yeah, so this is after you've helped me and I changed the stuff around.
So what do we think?
Good. I like
Good.
it.
I think your
like
picture's a
the
bit fierce,
background.
Gracelyn. You look a bit tough, yeah?
I have to confess, this picture's taken in my bathroom.
So I want to see a smile, right? I want to see a warm face, right? Yeah. White background. The background's great. I like it. Look, I like your title. I think that's really cool, yeah. 414 connections, not enough. Let's get to 500. Experienced man demonstrating work. It sounds just, it's good. But I like the skilled in event planning, yeah. I just put what you're passionate about, Grace. Right? You love the world you're in deeply. I would use the word passion, or that really emphasize that point of what you do for businesses, and you transform people's lives on a daily basis, right? Everybody okay with that? Philip, thoughts?
I thought if perhaps the background can be something more related to what she's doing, something like a landscape thing, or
Could be. It could be flowers, or it could be something like that as well. Now,
That's
here's the
good.
really interesting thing. Advanced, you can change your background every day if you want. If I'm going to Edinburgh, I change my background. If I'm in Sydney, if I've got a client, I'm doing a Zoom meeting in New York, I put a New York background in.
Fraser, do you have a recommendation, a guideline on how often should we change our photo?
I think you change your photo once you get your photo and it looks good. Until it doesn't look like you anymore, then you change it. I did have a really funny guy, right, who was the most handsome, cool guy, right, in his picture, but then in real life he'd really aged badly, right, and when we were at the group and we did this session, they all went, "Who's that?" So you do need to have the right picture there, but you don't, once you get it professionally done. I mean, my actual recommendation is get a professional photographer to do it. It's that important.
Fraser, I just wanted to explain to Philip. Philip, thanks for feedback, but I thought about it, but because we've got a brand guide when I did this with Fraser, and the background is actually the chalk drawings of everything that's associated with our business. So if you are a customer of Sing Si Soon, you know that in the deck and the PowerPoint that you receive, we've got our chalk drawings. We are building a packaging around these chalk drawings as well. That's why that's the picture in the background.
It's good. I like the background, right? I do like it, right? I think, but you can change it as well, right? You can change it around. You could also put your logo in there. You could get the picture like that, Grace, and then put a logo in the top right corner, yeah? So lots of ways we can play with this, okay? Any questions? Okay, Daniel. Is Daniel here? I don't think he is, huh? So again, it's a different profile. You can see, it's interesting, right? Why do I do this? I want you to see what it's like for other people when they see your profile. We don't get to choose what people think, right? If you think about it logically, we don't get to see the response. So it's very unusual for you to see this. And Baran, you don't get to see it, Usha, right? You don't get to see what people are actually thinking about your profile, yeah? So that's why we do it. And, the key is it gives you that interpretation of it. Yeah? So Daniel's not here, I don't think. Yeah. So, but again, I quite like the Chinese, right? I like having two languages there. If you're dealing in two marketplaces, I would have the text in Chinese and English. Right? You know, I quite like that. Yeah, same in the about. You know, and I've done that for clients before where we built the two. You know. Okay, Joseph. What do we think of Joseph?
I just must confess that I just restarted this whole thing about 3 weeks ago, so it's basic.
No problem.
Not knowing what to do.
No, it's fine, right? No, it's good, right? So look, you can see here your head's chopped off, yeah?
Couldn't control it. I was trying to cut and paste, and I'm just too tall for the.
I like the picture, right? I think the picture's really great, right? It's professional, nice back, clear white. It's exactly what you want, right? It's just simple, straight to the point. And if you put a nice background here, it'll work perfectly. So you need to think of the colors, what the background looks like as well, yeah?
Yeah, got it.
And then you need to build the contacts up, you know, right? You just started it. So.
Yeah, just wondering, since you're on my page, which I thought you will miss me because I just enrolled this morning. I'm fascinated by how so many people want to know me. It's the systems work, isn't it? Because I know somebody and they want me to connect them. So I refuse because I'm not sure why I want to connect with them. Some of them are just like, I don't know them totally. And I also want to connect with some people. How do you initiate this?
I'm going to show you in a minute. So,
okay.
2 things that I'm going to empower you to do. It's a good point, Joseph, right? It's part of what my sort of mission is with everybody we engage with. Number 1, don't be fussy about who you connect with, okay? Oh, I'm only connecting with these and I only want 30 connections. That's not the way it works, okay? Right? It's not Facebook. I only have 30 connections on Facebook, okay? Don't have anybody else. I don't accept connections in my private world. Facebook is my family and that's it, right? And I just do it that way and that's my thing and I like it that way. LinkedIn's not that though, right? LinkedIn is a networking tool. It's your brand, it's your business, it's your face, it's what you're about. At some point in the future, it's going to cost money to build your connections up. At the moment, you can still build for free a bank of 5,000 connections. That stays with you for the rest of your life, yeah? These people see your content, a percentage of them see your content when you share it, and you can engage with them, yeah? So you have to do 2 things, right? One is when people connect with you, look at them, right? If it's a crap profile or if it's an amateur or if it's a bit dodgy, then don't connect with it, I agree, right? But if it's a business person, if it looks professional, connect with them, right? It's another connection that adds a connection to you. And it's someone you can engage with now or in the future. The second is reaching out strategically. Connect with 200-300 people at a time, yeah? It's okay, right? They'll come back, they'll connect with you. You're building your bank of connections up. Do not be scared or overthink that at all, yeah? If someone, and this will happen, spams you, okay, and says, I want to sell you this, look at what they're doing, disconnect with them if you want to, right? It's fine, just disconnect, that's it. They don't even see you've disconnected, yeah? And move on, okay? So please connect with 100 people a week, yeah? Send 100 connection requests a week, get those contacts out there, let the world know you exist, yeah?
So you're saying that I see so many people who want to connect with me and their faces pop up. I just connect, just approve. Oh.
But the key is you look at, there's 2 things you're doing. One is you assess the profile and you say, this is a bit dodgy, then don't connect with them, right? There's some countries, and I'm not going to mention, right, but some companies I don't connect with just because every time I connect with them, they send me a whole batch of spam. So I just don't bother anymore, right? You know, it's like, and that's fine, right? Sometimes I get posts from Hong Kong, right? Girls, you're right, connecting, and I know they just want to date and have conversations about WhatsApp and stuff like that. And so I just don't, I know what they look like. I don't connect with them, yeah? So I can tell the spam, yeah, what's coming and what's going to be spam. But the business people that around the world, I mean, I have connections to all over the world. America request connections with me. You know, in Nigeria, right? Sometimes business people connect and they chat, and it's perfect, right? I accept connection requests from people that are legit, yeah? If they start spamming me, I just block them straight away, cut them off, that's it, gone, right? It's very simple. It's 1 click, gone, right? That's it. I never see them again.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we've got to send the connection requests as well. The way we control our connections is by who we send connection requests. And I'm going to show you this in a minute, yeah?
Yeah, I just got Andrew D'Souza wanting me to connect with him. Should I connect with Andrew D'Souza?
I don't think you should, right? He looks a bit dodgy to me, yeah?
Yeah, I think so too.
Look at this, look, perfect timing, right? Right, would you connect with this guy, yeah? Right?
Nice photo, nice photo.
Yeah. Right, what do we like about this? Yeah.
He's got these 3 pins there, so impressive, you know. The pins on his jacket.
Yeah. It's nice, right? It's a professional picture jacket, white background. I really like it, right? Look, his title is fantastic, yeah? He's even got BNI in there, right?
Ah, that's right.
It's really good, right? What's wrong with that, yeah? Okay. So no background, only 180 connections. You need to get more, Andrew. What's the point in being a tech practitioner and not connecting with business owners? Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, so I was under the same question. I mean, I just started LinkedIn. I mean, like building this up during the circuit breaker, and yeah, so I didn't know who to connect. So I was very selective. So right now, after today, I will just connect. So, riding on this question also, how many people can we like add before they stamp in hard on us?
There's no limit, right? What they do though, right, is once you reach a certain amount of connection requests sent out, and again, we'll work through this over the next couple of weeks, they stop you connecting with people.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so in the old days, I could send 1,000 connection requests. So I could have 30,000 connections within 3 months, right? Now you can't do that, right? Now you send 40 or 50, or I mean, usually it gets capped at 100 in a day, and then they'll stop you. Okay. And they'll suggest you pay, right? But there's ways around that, and I'll explain that. We'll go through that as we go through the next period. You'll find these things happen, right? And the key is raise the question as we go through it. So that's why it's important you do just now, because you've got me here and you can ask questions like Joseph's asking, like everyone's asking, like you're asking. This is the time to ask the questions because you'll learn from each other, yeah?
Fraser, I want to ask you real quick. Now we're on Andrew's profile. You know, on the right-hand side, and you have the logo and like the stuff. Yeah, where can we find this again?
So you just put it in your profile. He put it in his, if you go down to his, you'll find it's in his, I think you put it in your jobs, didn't you, Andrew, yeah?
Experience?
Is it experience?
No, I think I put under jobs. Is it jobs? The past
jobs, yeah?
Yeah.
So you put BNI in there, right? But it's really good. I like the way you've laid it out, yeah? I would do this, yeah? Definitely, yeah? I think it's brilliant, right?
Just another question. So some of us, maybe we have an additional, let's say, professional title. Like let's say for Farhan, for instance, let's say he is a certified financial advisor. So he has that CFA abbreviation. Yeah. Should we put this at the top, like our name?
100%, yeah. Definitely.
Okay, can. So I'll add that later.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's a good question. But I like the way you've laid your title. It's perfect, right? It's really good. Tells you everything, you know? I might put multipreneur after tax practitioner because that's your priority, yeah?
Okay.
I want to put you want the first thing there you want people to lead, yeah? To see. Yeah?
I wanted to put multipreneur because this is one of the, this is a term I'm trying to campaign for.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I'm also going to, perhaps after today, I may want to write a bit about what multipreneur is under the about segment.
Not only that, you need to write a couple of posts about it, you're right, and then maybe write a white paper, you're right, and so on and so forth. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you can see here, it's good, right? A keen interest in taxation. You can see he's personalized his job title. So anyway, makes sense, everyone? I'm just conscious of time, yeah. It's good, right? Jamin, is that the right way to pronounce? What do we think of this? Now, some of you I couldn't find, right? So if I couldn't find you, apologies, yeah. So
Jimon's wife is here.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah. I thought the Fernandez, right? Okay, cool. So it's really good. Lovely picture. Like maybe if he could bring his head down, but actually I quite like it. The background's good. The only thing with the background is it's just a little bit blurred, okay? So sometimes if you put the picture there and you don't put a high quality picture there, it doesn't come out so good when you look at it, but I do like the background. You see what he's doing there? It's really nice, right? And it's dark suit, dark background. It works really nicely. Managing director, that's all you need, right? When you're managing director, people connect with that, yeah? Again, his about doesn't describe what he's passionate about. Yeah, it's a CV, yeah?
So you just mentioned a little secret that if you put managing director, people will want to look at you. So I should put managing director as well.
Of course, yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so riding on this question, I had a friend, he was just laughing at this profile because the person put his title as CEO. Then when you click the company only has 2 people. So does that work?
Yeah, people don't click the company though, yeah, they're very often, yeah.
Okay.
I only have 6, we have about 12 people, only 6 of them on LinkedIn, but you know, it doesn't affect what I'm doing, yeah, so. You're constantly readjusting, yeah, right? I mean, you get to, I mean, if you want to take a bit of time and do it properly, send 100 connection requests or 200 and then count how many come back, you know? And then make an adjustment, send again, right? So it's A/B testing. And it's that important to get it right. I mean, you don't need to, right? I mean, I don't really A/B test anymore. I don't have time to do it, but I do have people on courses who are quite detailed, and we have a whole set of stats around this that they've done. I mean, we really have really detailed metrics on it, and it does make a difference. Yeah, there's no doubt, right? And when it's going wrong for someone, usually it's something they're doing that's wrong, and it's really important that you know, I suppose you have to accept it, right? There's a way of using LinkedIn, and if it's not working for you, it just means you're not doing it right, and you need to go back to the drawing board because there's always a way of using it. You know? And if you've only got an hour a week, I'm okay with that. You can make it work in an hour a week or 2 hours a week. But you don't need to cold call anymore, right? There is no need for cold calling. Yeah? None, 0. That's the beauty of LinkedIn. Yeah. Right, Rennie, what do we think?
All picture have to change.
Picture's a good picture, right? Keep it professional like that. It's really good, yeah? You see the professional, you can see it's a professional studio picture, right? It's really fantastic. Okay, founder and director, perfect. What more do you need, right? 500 connections, brilliant, right? No background, all you need a background, yeah? The about, I think it puts your points across, yeah? I love the word passionate, right? And you all love your businesses, right? Why would you not say passionate about making sure businesses protect their assets, you know? What do you actually do? I know it's difficult, Andrew, for accounting, yeah, right, you know? But I do believe accountants should be passionate about, you know, accounting has a different set of roles now, right? That if you're there to advise businesses as well as do the accounts, right? There's 2 hats, and you know, the account is the one stable thing in your world, right? Okay, excellent. Edwin, what do we think?
Wanted to ask about the uppercase words. Yeah, does it sound like you're shouting, or no. Does it look more professional? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I thought about this a while back, right? I've been thinking about this. It's been in my head, right? Niggling away, yeah? I quite like the way he's done it, right? I like the at's a small at, right? Which softens it. And I don't think it's shouting. I just think it stands out. I quite like it, actually. This picture's good. Professional picture. Just let you away with it, Edwin. I'm like, you know, I prefer a white background, but, you know, it's good. It humanizes you, you know, in a tough world. Need the background there that fits with that. So it's quite complex, the picture. So background needs to be quite simple and clean, you know. No about. I couldn't find an about, Edwin. I think he's maybe gone, right? He had to jump out, you know.
I'm not sure whether, Fraser, you think much about people's photos being far away or near. What is suitable distance? Because for me personally, I think Edwin is too far away. I hardly can make out his face.
So I have a similar picture to this. I like the picture. You know, it's sort of like does the job. So what you get is you get an image there, but you don't quite get the eye contact with the picture. I think I probably are more on what you're saying, you know, but I don't dislike this. You know, I think, I mean, again, I prefer a white background personally, right? Or a plain background and then the picture drawn out of them. But I think that's a good point that you're raising, yeah, and you do need to think about it. I'm due a change. I need to go and get my picture redone, yeah, so.
Okay. Do you know of a photographer? We've got one at Omega. Use him.
Excellent. Yeah, there you go. Perfect, right?
He did mine, so you know where to go. Give a referral to Jaden.
Right? And, and that's the whole point, right? You know, this LinkedIn profile picture is something photographers should be doing. You know, it's critical. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would recommend that we all update our photographs once a year, and that's why I ask you how often should we change our photograph.
Excellent. Right. Okay. So, any questions? Is that helpful?
Yes, it is.
It brings you back to basics, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go down this road of how to use LinkedIn constructively. And so there's a way to do it. I need you to follow the model, yeah? Don't deviate from it to start, okay? I don't mind later, right? Do what you like, yeah? But for that first 3-4 weeks, follow the process, okay? I'm going to give you and see what happens, yeah, right? It's an experiment for you, right? But if you experiment with something else without a baseline, then you end up with a problem. And I say this for a reason. A lot of people we work with go and do something else, yeah, because they think they want to do something that's better, but it never works, yeah. It drives them on a couple bunkers, yeah, because people come back, it's not working, right? And then we look at the messages and they're not the messages, right, that we work with you on, yeah. So there's a way of doing this. It's taken us a long time to get to here. There are actually multiple ways of doing it. We are just going through a basic model with you on the communication, but it is important to follow the process that we give you and then adapt it. What's wrong with this, yeah? I received this. This is a message I received. What's wrong with it, yeah?
I receive messages like this as well, and I never respond because I think it's like you're just selling to me rather than building a relationship.
Selling, exactly, right? It's not about relationship. I agree with you, Rennie. 100%. What else is wrong with it?
The follow-up message, the chaser.
Was the chaser on the same day? Was the chaser like just shortly after?
Well, it's just shortly after, right? It was like 1 hour after. So naughty, huh? That was like, it made me laugh, right, when I got it right. I was like, it was so cheeky, right? You know? What else is wrong with this, though? What else is wrong? Pardon?
And it's like 5:40 a.m. and then 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, people not awake this time.
I think she's assuming that you got a need to do a website.
Yeah. And like the grammar is awful, yeah?
Yeah.
And if you're going to send a cut and paste message, hello, right? Please do it properly, right? You shouldn't, in LinkedIn, the way you communicate is the way you would talk on WhatsApp. If someone says, hello, Fraser, kind regards, Natalie, right? What does that tell me?
That is the actual human?
No, it tells me she's trying too hard, yeah?
Mm.
She's trying to get, she wants something, she's trying to formalize it, right? We don't talk on LinkedIn like this, yeah? We never say kind regards, ever, 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 right? And you can see this last sentence here, please let me know. You know, it's transactional. So what we teach people is not to be transactional. So the secret to selling, right, is not to sell, yeah? The secret is to let people buy from you and engage with you at the pace they want to engage with you, you know? So when we step into a transactional conversation, we're trying to get something for us, yeah, instead of engage with them, yeah. Now, I don't mind doing that, but if you're going to do it the right way, yeah, right? Not this way here, where you've done no research, you don't know who I am. She could have looked at my website and said, I looked at your website and I noticed this, this, and this. These are the 3 points, yeah, right? Here's a screenshot of what I would have done differently, yeah? But she hasn't taken the time to do that, right? So that would be a more direct approach, but it would still be a lot better than this, yeah? So this is a classic example of what not to do. It's what I call cut and paste. It doesn't work. Yeah? So we have a process, connection requests, humanized communication with people. They will respond. You can communicate, ask for a meeting at that point if you want. And this is just a simplistic version of it. And then track your metrics, okay? You need to know what your numbers are to start with, yeah? So phase 1, connection requests, okay? So how do we connect with people? So you go to my network, okay? You go to HR directors. So I want to search HR directors. Anybody know how many HR directors there are in Singapore? Do you have an idea? How many do you think in Singapore?
1,000.
Right, let's have a look. So 50,000 worldwide, right? Now, HR director is interesting, right? Because, you know, it comes up 50,000. So I choose seconds, okay? Not thirds and not firsts, because first I'm already connected with. I don't need to connect with firsts. Seconds, it's easier, right? There's enough. In Singapore, I chose Singapore. I can add an industry there: human resources, information technology, financial services, banking. And then I press go, yeah? Okay. 4,788 in Singapore. So I press connect, move on to the next one. We do not send a personal message, okay? We've done a study on it. We've done it where someone sent out 1,500 of each, and there is no difference in the acceptance rate of people that you send a personal message to, apart from the effort you put in to send 1,000 personalized messages, yeah? So it's better to communicate in a human conversation with someone after they've connected with you. It's better to take the time to engage properly than before that, yeah? That's our findings. That's what the metrics say. I don't mind if you personalize your message. You're just creating an extra bit of effort there, right? Okay. So let me just go here. Let me just pull this up a second. Bear with me. Right, let's have a look here at share. I'm just going to share this with you. Right, this is my profile, okay? So I go to my network. Now, our modular courses fit really well with sales directors, yeah? So I can type in here sales director. So 9 million sales directors in the world, yeah? So I want to break it down into Singapore. So 88,000 with sales director. Now there's an interesting way. If I want to take both sales director, I can do this, right? And this is advanced LinkedIn, because no one knows this. Yeah, I promise you, no one knows this. You'll never hear this from anybody else. And right, and then that, right? Now what means is it's got to have both in there, okay? Right, so that should sales and director. Oh, it's the wrong line, sorry. Let me just redo that. Okay, there you go. And then let me just go back to, I'm surprised it's so many. There you go, 88,000, yeah? Staggering, yeah? So if I want to choose an industry, okay, I go to all filters. I wouldn't have thought so many, but anyway, let's go to information technology, press apply. 11,000, yeah. So 11,000, right? And so I can just press connect, look. Connect. 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 Do you see how easy that is? If Terence connects with me, I can have a conversation with him, yeah? Questions?
You connect one by one. I thought you can send out.
No, one by one.
One by one.
So after they accept your connection, what message do you usually send?
I'm going to show you that next. Yeah, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's a good question. It's the right question. It's where everyone struggles. Yeah. Farhan, your thoughts?
Sorry, yes. My thoughts on?
Yeah, thoughts on the connections, yeah?
No, I think like, yeah, what I learned from BNI is that any form of connection, you never know where it will lead you to. Yeah. So I just connect to anyone I feel like it will be of interest. Yeah. It's pretty passive to me, the connections.
But it doesn't need to be passive, right? It can be very proactive. So what? And when you talk about financial services, which type of person, who would be a typical client from you? Is there an industry that you operate in?
I think right now I'm still most into public sectors, senior executive. Mm-hmm. In the health and engineering sectors. Yeah, so these are my main.
Let's use engineering as an example. How many clients have you got in engineering?
Probably around 10.
10. Perfect, yeah. So when you connect with people in engineering that are senior executives, and then you reach out to them and you say, hey, thanks for connecting, you start a conversation with them. And then the second conversation says, I've got quite a few clients in engineering, right? Be great to sit down with you and grab a coffee, all right? You're going to have a much higher likelihood of success, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a missing part. So I really feel like now that you mention it, like, okay, this is actually a good tool which I have been neglecting for the last 2 years or so.
Yeah, and everyone does, right? It's just not being, and it's evolving, right? So it changes, right? And it changes and it changes. But one of the things we get businesses to do when you know the sector you want to deal with is to have a case study. So, Andrew, if you're dealing in accounting, right, and you're stepping in to have a conversation, or Joseph, when you're doing a technology play, or you have a case study there. You say, look, here's a case study for another business in your industry. Yeah, thought you might like it. It'd be great to touch base and share with you what we've learned. I mean, you can do that on LinkedIn, right? X number of asks like that will get you an appointment. Definitely. Okay. It definitely works that way, right? It's a little bit more difficult in financial services, and I get that, right? But at a basic level, LinkedIn works like. Now, what I'm going to show you in the next 2 sessions is much more advanced methodologies of building your brand out, letting people know you exist. You see Sing Life's being bought over by Aviva. Yeah.
Aviva bought over by Sing Life. Yeah.
Yeah. I know Walter, right, really well, yeah.
Oh.
And I engage with him on LinkedIn, yeah. And I talk LinkedIn all the time, right? And I like his posts and comment and communicate with him.
Right. I will look into that. And also another thing would be recruitment. I do want to get more people to join me Because yeah, so there is another aspect of LinkedIn I want to explore about people looking to be a consultant.
So you can do that, but you can also, your brand and what you project, people will look at that and say, I want to be part of that, or I don't. You know?
Okay.
No, we just go through, Grace, but you can all just jump out if you need to go to the toilet or anything. Yeah? Grace asked if we have a break.
Yeah.
There's a, but just jump out and go to the toilet if you need to. Yeah? So, right. Any questions? Milana, is it helpful? Helpful?
Yeah. Very.
So what we got to do is find out how you can use it. And that's what really, this 2 hours gives you a framework, but really we've got to sit and say, how are you going to use it as you move forward for your business perspective? Yeah? And that's really the key to this is, what's your actual strategy, Philip? Yeah, how do you do it? What do you do with it? And how do you make it work? And so, but again, I got to give you the basics first, right? So what I want you to do, we're not going to break into breakout rooms today, but what I would love you to do is to send out, you all got LinkedIn in front of you?
Yep.
Oh.
Right, what I'd like you to do is open your LinkedIn now. Baran, can you do that for me?
Sorry?
Can you open your LinkedIn for me? Log into your LinkedIn on your computer, yeah?
My LinkedIn?
Yeah, open your LinkedIn, yeah? Your laptop.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you, Baran, because I come from financial services, I'll end up picking in your, you know, so it's I'll push you harder, right? Because I understand your world. But you know, I wish I had LinkedIn when I was selling life insurance and investments. Yeah, it would have been a game changer, right? I used to get all my leads through referrals. Yeah, right. You know.
I mainly get my leads from referrals.
Yeah, but LinkedIn allows you to take it to the next level, right?
Yeah, so I'm in my LinkedIn right. I am in my LinkedIn right now.
Good. Everybody on LinkedIn got to open. Right. What I want you to go is go to my network, and then who's your target market? Andrew, which industry do you want to deal with? Milana, which industry?
Trading, wholesale.
Okay. So which role do you want to deal with in wholesale?
Decision making.
Yeah, which one, right? So CEO, CFO? CEO?
Yeah, CEO, CFO.
So just choose one. So CEO, put search CEO, yeah?
Done.
Right. How many CEOs in the world? Quite interesting question.
Oh, they're giving me a job. Okay, wait. Let me go back.
Right. Everybody do that. Search for a job title that you want to talk to first. Got it?
The network, right?
Pardon?
You go to your network.
Yeah, my network, yeah. Go on, Winnie, you got a question?
Yeah, I just now when you are doing the demo, right, I actually search because I want to connect with HR. So I search and then I click connect with a few of them, and now there's one of them actually accept my invitation. Yeah. So and this guy is he looks a bit older, so his name is Chinese name lah. So do I say hi, Mr. Ton? Thanks for connecting.
I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute, right? So just bear with me, right? Okay.
Okay.
So
okay,
what I want, so HR directors, HR, I connect with the role you want, HR director, HR manager, or HR, right? There's different 3 roles within HR, right? So you need to think about who you should talk to. Don't connect with a lower role if there's no point talking to them, right? Okay. Usha, have you got yours? Have you managed to do yours?
I keep going into jobs.
I don't mind connect. That's fine. Yeah, right. Do that's fine. Yeah. Rennie, are you okay? Got it?
Okay, 9 million something.
Yeah, good. Right now, I want you to break it to Singapore. Make it all Singapore. That's a lot of CEOs, huh?
45,000.
43,000.
Good. 43,000. That's good. Now let me just do a screen share so I can remember what to do here, right? So then what I want you to do is my network here, right? So bear with me. It's going to boot up. There we go. So search for, let's just do HR direct. So when you've done a search like that, then over here, you've got all filters, okay? Do you see that? Click on all filters. And then go down here to industry. Type wholesale. Right? Or whatever you want to type, yeah? Which industry you want, yeah? So you can actually add an industry in there, right? And then press apply. So you can see there's HR directors. There's 41 HR directors in wholesale. Make sense? And then you press connect like that, yeah? That's it. So
Mine, it's all no picture one.
Pardon?
Mine, it's no all without the picture. I mean, majority, like 80%.
Yeah, I think it's because I got Navigator. I get more access, yeah?
Yeah.
It definitely makes it. Yeah. Navigator is about the search, right? It's critical. You can see it keeps coming up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Fraser, would you recommend people that wants to use LinkedIn to upgrade it to the premium?
Yeah, you don't need to do it now, right? You know, get using it, and then you'll find where the limitations are, and if you need to do it then, right? And as I show you Navigator, if you find that you want to use it properly, that most of you won't be using CRM the right way already, yeah? So you need to get CRM working properly first, yeah, before you have Navigator. Sorry, Renee, go on.
Fraser, do you keep track of who you request your connection, or just let it?
Just let it be. Yeah.
You will never know, right, whether the person. No. Okay, and then
I'm going to show you some things. I'll show you. So if I go to my network, okay, you can see here, right? I can press manage here, that button there called manage. And then I can look at sent. I can see what was sent. Okay. And then I can go back to here. And I can look at my network. I can look at my connections. Let me see all my connections. This is my connections, 9,000 connections. And then I can filter Singapore. I have 4,300 connections in Singapore. I can filter it down more. I could filter it in industry, legal practice.
Hey, good. I'm attending a training right now, but
legal practice
if anything very important, yeah.
I can't find Philip.
And another question, you know, just now, Fraser, when you were showing us how to connect, right? You just pressed connect, and it went through. But for me, when I press connect, right, then this other pop-up comes up, you know, your invitation is on its way. You can add a note to personalize your invitation. Then you have the button add a note or done.
Done. Just press done.
Okay.
So in the past, I've met people that have said, I want to send a personal message, but it just means you've got to send a personal message each time, yeah? And that means you've got to read the profile if you really want to send a true personal message. And I mean, in theory, you can copy and paste a message in there, but it just doesn't make any difference to anything. You know? Now that might change in the future, okay? But at the moment, it doesn't. If I want to reach out to someone though, specifically, so say I want to have a conversation with someone, you know, and I want to talk to Milana specifically, I would say, hey, Milana, just thought I'd connect with you because I wanted to, jump on a call with you. Thought there might be some commonality there with things, regards with it. And so I would send it then, but I can't think the last time I did that. No? Right, Philip, are you good with that?
Sorry?
Are you good with that? The connection request?
Oh, yeah.
Have you all sent 30 out?
I haven't finished completing my LinkedIn account.
Yeah, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. Just send the connection requests out. The point is to get into the habit of doing these things, right? Don't, otherwise you'll just never get it done. Send 100 connection requests a day later on once we're finished. Okay, don't hold back. Just do it now.
It has to be targeted, right? Not all of us.
People so that's why when you want to talk to, I know who I want to talk to. Is it the CFO, CTO, CMO, the HR director, the sales manager, we need to know what the persona of the person is we want to talk to. And then we want to think of the industry. So Joseph, it's different hats, right? I mean, technology world for Joseph, he might sit and say, I want to talk to people in warehousing. I might want to specialize in hospitals and healthcare, or I might want to specialize in, a variety of different industries. So that makes it, he can just sit down and do a search, CTO, healthcare, and off he goes, So if I was doing that like that, if I was CTO, right, in Singapore, I'll delete this, clear this. Now maybe I'll put healthcare here. Hospital and healthcare. Press apply. Actually, I need to go back. So right. So let's go to second connections.
What does it mean, first, second, and third connections?
The first means they're connected to you already. Okay. A second means that you have someone that's connected to them that you're connected with, See, hospital and healthcare, you see that? So hospital healthcare, CTOs in Singapore. Press apply and see what comes up. So 36. So let's say I deal with hospitals and healthcare and I want to connect with these guys. I can just go like that, press done, connect, press done. And now I've connected with 32 CTOs in the healthcare industry in Singapore, Just like that.
How do you check your withdrawal again? Like whoever you connected with, how do you go there?
So if I want to withdraw someone as a connection request, I press manage.
Okay.
Go to send, and then press withdraw.
Okay, my network.
And then I can withdraw.
I don't have this manage button.
Okay, so what happens sometimes? Go to my network. Sometimes you've got people waiting to connect with you there. Like I was waiting to connect with you. You can't see the manage button if you've got a pending connection request there,
I have to settle that one first.
You have to settle that one first.
Okay, got it.
You still hit like see all on those pending invites, and when you do that, when you click on that, then they'll give you the option to see the sent ones.
Yeah.
So you don't have to clear those out, but it's just that changes the button.
So I am gonna change your world, right? Because I'm empowering you to connect with people and build your database, right? It's scary, right? I get it, okay? Almost I'm saying, trust me, just send the connection request. Sometimes you can't talk to them all. It's okay, right? Okay, I accept that, right? But send the connection request and build your database. You can always go back to them later, right? Okay. I'm going to show you how to communicate with people that you haven't talked to for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years. Yeah? We're going to show you how to do that. Yeah? Right. Let's move on. Yeah. So again, we're talking about basic stuff here. So this is the fundamentals of using LinkedIn. Yeah. Okay. Now we communicate with people. I'm going to show you one methodology. There's 5 or 6 ways of doing this blue piece here, right? Okay. A humanized response. Okay. I want you to relax on it, right? It's okay. You're going to get it wrong, but you need to humanly communicate with people, right? So the first thing you do when someone connects with you is you read their profile and find stuff out about them interesting, their education, a friend in common, something about their industry that's relevant, something about an article that they've posted or a post they posted. You know, but you're looking for commonality there, right? When people write an article or a post, usually very proud of it, right? Unless their secretary's doing it for them, you know. But most people don't do that, right? Most people, when they post, okay, are very, very happy. If Andrew D'Souza does a post about what did you call it? What Andrew?
Multipreneurship.
Sorry, what?
Multipreneurship.
Yeah, multipreneurship, right? And you ask him a question about that in the post, you're having a conversation with him, right? That's better than a message in LinkedIn that I just read your profile, yeah? If I comment and I say I want to deal with Andrew, if I comment in 3 or 4 of his posts and then come back to him and say, you know, I really like some of the stuff you're putting out there, it'd be great to touch base. He already knows me because he'll have liked my comment, yeah? And sometimes commented on it as well, yeah? So we can engage at different layers with people. But the start point at a basic level is read their profile and then have a conversation with them. Thanks for connecting, something about them, ask a conversation, start a conversation, okay? Keep it short and simple. An example is, love the product, Ross, really cool. It's a massive issue that you're solving. Do you work with the sales side of the business as well, yeah? One of my biggest deals came from an introduction from this guy, yeah? Personal introduction. And it came from this message, yeah? Do you see how simple that is, right? So he knows his product. It's really cool. It's a massive issue that you're solving. It's really a personal comment, right? I don't even need to say what the issue is. He knows, right? Do you work with the sales side? It's a question, right? Now, I'm not saying all messages look like this, but sort of what we want to do as well is show you real stuff rather than, you know, made up stuff, you know? Okay. So what I want you to do now is you should all be connected with me. I want you to go to my profile, okay? And I want you to send me a message as though you were meeting me for the first time, yeah? So read my profile and then send me a message, yeah? So my profile is Fraser Morris in Singapore. If we haven't got, I should have connected with all of you, yeah?
What if we already have messages with you?
Yeah, but don't worry about that. Pretend it's a new message. I want you to say, hey, Fraser, thanks for connecting. You know, I something about my profile, and then ask me a question, okay?
Okay. Something about your profile.
Thanks, Gracelyn. It's good, right? It's personal, yeah?
I have to go. That's what I can say.
I want you to ask a question, Grace. It's brilliant. Can't wait for the next. You know, how do we take this to the next level? Ask a question, okay?
Okay, so I ended, okay, good. I could rewrite that again.
That's
I
right,
would send it to you before, yeah.
It's personal, right? So that's the point, right? It's personal.
Yeah.
And it's short. It's WhatsApp, right?
Okay. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
See you later.
Have a good one. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye. And pick on something. Look at the pictures. Look at my mountain biking. Look at the, you know, look at what my articles I've written, posts. Yeah. Yeah, perfect, right? And I put a question mark at the end, Andrew. Yeah. Andrew.
Yes. Sorry. Put a question mark. Okay.
I put the question mark in the end, and then I'd also put, I noticed your article on this. Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, I wonder if you could share. You know, what's the secret of empowering salespeople? Yeah.
Okay.
So remember, less is more. I'm sort of quite lucky because my wife's PhD and it's in English, yeah, right? You know, so we always talking about the use of words and the subtlety of the words. And less is more, right? So like, how can you say a sentence in less, yeah? You know, especially the question, right? You know, what's the secret to empowering salespeople here, right? You know, it's you know, and don't sell anything, yeah? Again, like, thanks for connecting. I want you guys to read my profile, right? I mean, thanks, Farron, I appreciate it. But I want you to read my profile and look at something interesting in my profile, refer to it, and then ask me a question, yeah? Like Andrew did there, right? You know, I wonder if you could share more on how you empower salespeople. It's great, right? I'm just being fussy with you, Andrew, that's all, yeah? So try again, Farron, yeah? If you want to start a conversation with me, we don't want to be transactional. I don't want you to sell me anything, right? Or if you are going to sell me, you need to be very, very on point, right? Exactly. It's perfect, right? I'm going to respond to that, yeah? Does that make sense now, yeah?
You. So you can actually say like that, right? Just
Yeah, of course,
the
yeah.
experience
Yeah.
or hobby. So basically you're picking up any information which interests you.
Anything, yeah?
Yeah. I think I got it. That was actually one
perfect, right? So
Wait,
I wouldn't, what you've done here, Joseph, right? It's really nice, right? But I wouldn't put the high phraser like that. It's too formal, right? It looks like an email, yeah? I want it to be, I want you to compact it all together in one paragraph, yeah? And I really like, did you come from there? It's been ages since I last visited, right? Perfect. And then don't put cheers, yeah? What you've done is really personalized it, yeah? And then asked, you know, did you come from there, yeah, right? You know, it's great, right? I'm going to respond, yeah? The only thing I'd put there is the question maybe elicits a one-word answer, right? But then that leads you into a conversation. Are you doing business in both places? I noticed in your profile, you've got both there, right? So it looks, see, the temptation is to make it look nice, but actually what we want to do is not make it look nice. We want to keep it simple like that, like it's a message on WhatsApp, yeah? Right? You wouldn't send that on WhatsApp, yeah?
Can you say it again? Because you're saying that don't make it formal. Say it as though you're saying on WhatsApp, which means to say that it's personalized already. If you say it in WhatsApp, it's even more personalized, actually.
Yes, exactly.
And you want it that way.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be like that, right? Or, you know, where it's simple, yeah, very simple like that, yeah.
Okay, so it's okay. It's not formalized. Okay.
No, it's the lack of formality that's important, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a good question. It's good, Rennie, right? I like it, yeah, right? I love you bring your passion of endurance sport and sales. You know, how do you, I might ask the question, how do you find the companies and startups would translate sport and sales, yeah, right? Or should translate sport and sales, yeah? Because that's the interesting question, right? Is how do you blend sport and sales and the commonality between the two things and how to be successful, yeah? So actually you're right on it. Just change the question a little bit, yeah? So do you train is a yes, no answer, right? But if you ask me a question, how do you train small companies and startups and use your skills, that's interesting, right? And if you ask me a question like that, I'm gonna talk to you, right? So, right, everybody good? Is that getting you to think about things a little bit differently? Huh? Philip, is it helpful?
Yeah, for me, it's, yeah.
That's you, Farhan, right? So, yeah, again, so what we're doing today is we've said, how do you build your profile, right? How do you connect with people? And how do you have a message with someone, okay? So that's phase one of LinkedIn, right? That's the basics. I mean, really basics, okay? LinkedIn, so works slightly different. One is you have to keep connecting, right? And you have to keep building your contacts up and you keep communicating with people. But then you can use it in different ways. You can nurture your leads and prospects. You can post content that puts your brand out there. You can share the brand in personal messages with people. You can run an event, right, Byron? You could be running an event on investment strategies. Andrew, you could be running an event on tax. You could invite everybody on LinkedIn that you're connected with to that. Okay, you can share posts. You could hear Andrew said, I want to write an article about this topic, right? You can share your expertise, yeah? So LinkedIn starts to let you behave like a business rather than a transactional person that's just selling. Because people want to understand what you do. They want to understand the subtlety of what sits around your world. And that's what it really lets you do. That's the depth of where it goes with LinkedIn, yeah?
A question, right? So when I look at your profile, I see that you have passion in endurance sport, but I don't see that in your pictures. I'm thinking, like, is it okay if I do, a background image whereby I put something that I'm passionate about in my background image? Would that be a good idea?
It needs to relate to your business, right?
Okay.
So the endurance sport relates to business for me because I think the discipline to be successful in endurance sports is the same as to be successful in business, right? So the two things are really close to me at heart. And endurance sports is about metrics, numbers, consistency, training, self-development. Yeah, right. The tools that you use. Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, Renee. It was nice to see you on a Wednesday. Yeah. 9:30 after your session, right? So yeah, perfect. I can be flexible time. If it needs to be a little bit later, I can as well, right? So, but everything has to relate back to your passion about what you're about. Yeah, that's why as a financial advisor, I relate with you, Baron. You've got to know your identity. What are you about? What are you doing? What do you actually do for your clients that differentiates you, or not differentiates you, but delineates you in your marketplace? Yeah. Same as you, Andrew. What's your marketplace? Winnie, the same. Usha, Milana, same thing. Yeah. Joseph. Yeah.
Okay.
Winnie,
so
it's good, right? Feel free to just jump out. Anybody here, right?
Yeah. So, okay. So I was asking. So this person is of a certain age, lah, as I can see from his picture. So do I address him his name?
No.
Or Mr.
No, peer-to-peer, yeah, equals. And I get the Asian thing, right? That we want the patriarchal and matriarchal thing. I get that, right? There is a time and a place for it. But I find that this young, energetic 22, 24-year-olds go shit to all of that, right? I'm communicating and actually it works beautifully, yeah? It's really amazing, right? So sometimes we overthink it a little bit, right? Like my wife's a assistant prof and not assistant prof, sorry, a senior lecturer, and she's director of studies, but she's still scared to engage with people as an equal, right? And I don't agree with it, right? I think we've got to be confident in our value proposition, talking like to like. Yeah? You're the subject matter expert in your area, Same as Joseph is. He knows his stuff, right? He knows what he's doing. It doesn't matter if someone's the CEO of a bank. I still wouldn't call him Mr. Tan. I wouldn't, right? I'm equal, right?
I think we are not used to it. we are very mindful of courtesy. And the way that you are encouraging us to write is we are almost like friends. So that's something for us to learn, actually, to write like that.
It's tough, right? I understand, right? The whole way you brought up everything about it. And sometimes there is a time to do it. You can tell, right? When someone's really formally dressed and they're, or you're introduced by someone else, you have to do it that way, right? You know, and so there's a subtlety that sits around it, yeah, right? So there are exceptions to the rules, obviously, but you can play with it, right? But I think being confident about who you are and what you do and knowing your thing, yeah, right, is really important in business now, yeah, right? You know, and whether you're 18, 22, 28, 30, 50, it doesn't matter, right?
Well, I think today's session is good.
Yeah, no, it's really good to have everyone here, right?
Because
so that's 11:04. I'm done.
I think I learned that I mustn't think too much. Connect and connect and connect. Let people, yes.
And then when people are spamming you, just cut them off, right? Just disconnect them. I mean, I disconnect at least 20 people a week, right? They annoy me, yeah, right? Boom, gone, right? That's it. Sometimes I let people connect, even though it's a bit funny, and then they spam me and I just disconnect them. I like, oh, surely it's not going to happen again, right? It doesn't. But the personal message is the key. That's what differentiates you. And what I've done is shown you a very basic model. There's other ways of doing this, right? I'm giving you something to start with here, right? You know, and you know, if you can find that thing that really interests the person and you talk about that, they'll engage with you. You know, now you have a human relationship with someone. You know, right? I'll see you all Wednesday, and we're going to carry on with this. There's loads to be done. Yeah, so. And we got the video here, yeah, so if you need to go back, you can have a look at anything. And if you've got any questions in the group, do it. When you've got messages, can you share the messages you're sending? Everybody share the messages in the group, the WhatsApp chat. Just copy, either do a screenshot of the message on your phone and share it, or copy the message out and share it, yeah? Okay. And then I'll give you feedback on it, yeah, right? And because that's a really important part of what we do, yeah? So, pardon?
Can you share the recorded video in the group as well?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Monica will upload that. I'll put it into YouTube. I put it in a private YouTube chat.
Yeah.
YouTube thing, and then you can go and look at it.
The link.
Okay,
sounds cool.
Brilliant. See you Wednesday. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Really appreciate it. You know, it's good, right? Thank you. Bye.